The next is the anti-rationals. So in terms of the body of Christ, whereas I see idealists as the heart, I see artisans as the senses, eyes, nose, mouth, ears. Guardians, I see them as the muscle. I see rationals as the brain. But what part of the brain? I see them as the neocortex portion of the brain. So guys who know a little bit about science, what do we know about the neocortex? What's that?
I was going to say last developed.
Last developed?
You know,
That's true. I appreciate that answer. We are, like, if you think of whereas idealist may be a sage or a tree hugger, idealist is that wizard. So if you had a group of people and they're young, say like 10 years old, 15 years old, the last to develop is the rational. They're like that wizard who's like, okay, I need to learn how to read first. And then once I got to learn how to read, then I got to read the book. And then we'll have to see what spells are good against certain things. And then it takes them a long time, a very long time to get moving. But once they have a grasp of something, typically these are the experts. But it takes them a long time to become an expert. And the reason why I study this is because I was so bad at understanding people. So bad. I'm like, wow, I better learn about other people, and I guess this is a good way to learn. And even, like, if I'm talking to a dolphin, an idealist, who has the same amount of, well, no one studied as much as me, but who had studied a lot, but maybe not as much as me, they'll still type people better than I do. Because their focus is on people, whereas my focus is never really on people in terms of relating to people. So, guardians speak mostly about their duties, responsibilities. They keep an eye and take good care, and they're careful to obey the laws, follow the rules, and respect the right of others. Does anyone have questions on that?
Concrete cooperator.
Artisans. Artisans speak mostly about what they see right in front of them, about what they can get their hands on and do whatever works, whatever gives them a quick, effective payoff, even if they have to bend the rules. Okay, I spent a couple of minutes talking about artisans, but in the negative light. One thing that out of all the types that I really appreciate, I appreciate the foxes and artisans, because you can put them in a situation with limited understanding of it, and they typically get it done the best under those circumstances. Whereas the person who's typically going to be in a situation and do things the worst is the rational, because they spend time up into their neocortex part of the brain. So like the best quarterbacks are all ESTPs. Maybe ISTPs, but so I love football too. So I'm so impressed how well artisans operate. I actually think Peyton Manning is an ENTJ, and that's why I don't like him. People say, oh, don't you like Peyton Manning? I'm like, yeah, I like him as a person, but I don't like him as a quarterback. They say, why? It's because he is not good post-snap. He's the best quarterback pre-snap in that in terms of the understanding of what's going on, but as soon as the ball is hiked, everything, there's no order to it anymore. It's all chaos. Who's able to sift through the chaos is the SP artisan foxes. They're the best at game time nuances or tactical changes, which is why they're so good in sports. They're the best on the battlefield. They're the best at sales. It always is that case. So I really have appreciation of foxes.
also with trauma and
Trauma, yeah. And the thing is that when they see a situation, whereas the guardian will say, what are the rules here? What should we follow? Like, they're like, call 911, brace up their neck, and we're going. Like, we're not waiting for the ambulance. That's going to take 5 minutes. We don't have 5 minutes.
So if you go to the ER, first ask what the totem is of the person attending you.
Yeah. You'll find out, though, a lot of artisans, foxes, are in the ER because they want that stimulation. They want pressure. They work best when they're not thinking, which is opposite of a rational who only works best when, like if you tell rational, just do it. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Just do what? I don't know what to do. And to the dolphin idealists, they speak mostly about what they hope for, imagine to be possible. They want to act in good conscience, always trying to reach their goals without compromising their personal code of ethics. And rationals speak mostly about the new problems, what new problems intrigue them, envision always pragmatic. They try to act effectively as impossible to achieve their objectives. One thing that I didn't point out, what abstract utilitarian means. Abstract refers to the fact that they are an end. Meaning, when you speak, like I asked you guys to give me examples, you guys give me, like, what is the senses? What does someone do to please the senses? You say something that's excitable. Well, you're speaking abstractly. Like you say, singing, dancing, that's concrete language. So the reason why idealists and rationals get together is because they go well together is they speak the same language, abstract language, which is why when probably, I just envision Ken talking to Jonathan. He says, do this. And Jonathan says, okay, how do you want me to do this? I don't know, figure it out. He's like, oh, it's so stressful. What if what I want to do is not what you want to do? It always happens that way. Come on, man.
See, my fantasy is to be Jean-Luc Picard and just say, make it so. And then the whole crew just goes into motion and everything happens, right?
The problem with and saying to S, just get it done, their ideas of just getting done are totally different. Like at work, I was doing a trade show for work. I'm like, okay, we got to get chocolates. So I was instructed to get Hershey Kisses. And I told my assistant, okay, get Hershey Kisses and get some other good candy. She's like, what? What other candy should I get? I don't know. Get Ferrero Rocher. Okay, what if they don't have Ferrero Rocher? What should I get? I don't know. Get whatever is good. I don't care. Get something good. Get something that you like. What would you like? I'm like, and finally, I gave her like this, if, then, but, only if. And then, yeah, we actually got in a huge argument over what chocolates to buy. After I told her, she's like, okay, so how much should I spend? I don't care. Just get it. You have a budget. Here's $150. Buy it on chocolates. There's 600 dentists. Figure out a way to get this done. Just get some chocolates. Do you want to come with me? I'm like, no, I don't want to. Whoops. So I don't know where I was.
What do you want to do?
I was going to go back to the.
Are you going way back?
Oh, I went way back. Okay, so but it said they're concrete utilitarians. So what utilitarian refers to are people who do things that are against the rules, to not follow the rules. And the reason why the rational would not follow the rules, the rational all will not follow the rules, is because the rules are not logical to begin with. Why is this a rule? This is a bad rule. Let's erase it, institute a new one. Whereas the dolphins say, you might step on some toes. And then a rational would say, yes, step on their toes because they're illogical. That's their problem, that's not my problem. And then that's very different from, and so let's go on to the S.J. Gardens, concrete cooperators. So they speak in very clear terms. They want to know which chocolate, how much chocolate. They want to follow a plan, not necessarily create the plan. That's taxing on them to create the plan. But to follow the plan is something that they like to do. And the fact that they're cooperators, they like to follow the rules. Why do they like to follow rules? Because they trust that rules were made to be followed. There's a reason why they're followed. Whereas a owl would say, you know what, that was 10 years ago, times have changed. beaver will say, okay, then let's just add to the rules. And then an owl will say, that's bureaucracy. So they want people to follow. Now, foxes, they are concrete utilitarians. I mean, again, they speak and think in concrete terms because they're S's. Utilitarians mean they'll do whatever's good, or they'll break the rules because it's good for them to break the rules. That's very different from irrational. Irrational will like to follow the rules as long as it's logical. Right. And even if the artisan if they have personal gain in the issue, then they'll probably do something that's a personal gain in terms of telling a story because they will do what's good for them. So the 2 of the 4 types in terms of movies, who are the bad guys? So there's 2, out of the 4, there's 2 bad guys. So I hear NTs and SPs. Why?
Because they break the rules.
They break the rules. If they follow the rules, how are we going to be a good guy? I mean, a bad guy. That doesn't make sense. Okay, guys, let's just follow the rules all the time. So I'm really bad. Let's follow the rules. It doesn't make sense. And again, do you guys remember why dolphins are cooperators? Did you guys catch that? Why?
Healers?
Yeah, well, yeah, but they're abstract cooperators. But yeah, they're relational. They don't want to hurt people's feelings. They will actually follow the rules again so that they won't hurt anyone's feelings. So any dolphins out there who did follow what Kent said, even though they didn't like to do it because they didn't want to hurt his feelings? A lot of uncomfortable laughter. You know it's true.
Yeah. I don't feel the burden anymore of being as good a pastor to every one of the totems. I think if most churches are filled with beavers, right? If beavers, then the people who typically have the most trouble in most churches are the dolphins, right? And so we're always trying to fit into the beaver world, the devotional life of the beavers, right? All the kind of stuff. And it's not one's really good or evil. It's just different, right? So the pastor's a beaver, right? And you're like, wow. And so typically dolphins end up out of the church. For whatever reason, I'm still a pastor. I think the Hive actually accentuated the difference between Corey and me even more, right? And so this church has become more of an NF church, even though there's other than NF's people there. But I think for the NFs, when I meet them, they're like, I never thought I'd like a church so much, right? But then the people that really struggle are the beavers. So even when I said several weeks ago, you know, as much as I hate Stanford, coming from Cal, we're the Stanford marching band, and right, and right, yeah, I know. In the sense, it's a metaphor, right? Big picture, because in the sense of it looks chaotic, but they're purposeful. They end up in the right formation at the end, right? And you know, someone wrote me and said, now you've just explained why I really struggle to feel like I really fit well at this church, because I'm the Cal marching band. And every step has to be, right? And that's like, I think the old me would have said, oh, which I have done in the past. It's like, oh, I'll hire more beavers, right? And da, da, da. But in the end, this culture is still more NF. And so I think we're still trying to figure out in any church context where there's a predominant totem like personality, based especially on the senior leadership, how do the people who don't match well with that, how do they stay and thrive? And I think that's true in many organizations too, if you think about those of you who have organizational teams. All right, let's do the quiz.
Oh, one last thing. About NF Dolphins being cooperators. They are not cooperators in certain situations. They are not cooperators when they feel like the current structure is actually hurting or impeding social progress. So people like Martin Luther King and people like Gandhi, they are NFs, and they're willing to go against society so they could be connected with everyone.
So get to that, yeah. Okay, so let's see how much they've learned.
Do I click forward or stay here?
No, so first you ask them. All right, so we mixed up the order a little bit here. So we're gonna go with the major titles, labels for each of the totems. So what's the label for the dolphin? Okay, and what's the word label? Okay, the abstract utility, that's on this side. Okay, so there's a one-word label for each one of these totems. Okay, let's see. Okay, what about the fox?
Whoops!
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Can't
Okay.
go backwards on
What
that
about the
one.
owl? And the letters? Okay, and lastly, the beavers?
Guardians.
Yeah. And then is there more on the
Yeah,
side?
yeah. So what were those? Yeah. We'll give you the first one. We'll give you the first one. Yeah. It's got a heavy thumb.
I'm technologically challenged here.
Okay, so does that make sense? Right? Based on what we're talking about, idealist, the N, the cooperator, very much concerned about people. So what would the fox be? No, cooperator.
Whoa. Utilitarians.
Oh, did I get it wrong?
Very good, guys.
Yes, okay.
Very good, Fox. You know what you are.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
as a typing.
Rationals. Abstract utilitarians.
Yeah.
And guardians.
Yes, I
Yeah.
flipped these.
Yeah. So these
Okay.
two are flipped.
Okay.
Moving forward. All right.
It's quiz time.
We see 4 types come out in a lot of pop culture, and you might notice them. I'm sure you guys know turtles. Well, I love the turtles growing up.
And it's not all cartoons, so don't worry if you don't know what this is.
So, do you guys know who these turtles are? Like Michelangelo? Okay, there's a song before the show starts. What you know about Michelangelo is that he skateboards and he likes to eat pizza. And Leonardo, the guy in the blue, he leads the team. And then Donatello, likes to make the machines. He makes their vehicle that they ride in. And Raphael, which you see in the movie, is that he's going off. He leaves the turtles for a while and tries to figure out what is his origin and why is he a turtle and what purpose does he have on Earth. So, knowing that, what would you say the Donatello, the purple guy, is? Rational. He's actually, he's a rational totem. He's actually the same type of person as Tony Stark. They like to build things. He's an ENTP, same as Doc Brown on Back to the Future. They like to build things. Their thoughts are manifested through their hands, but yet still rational. Raphael, the guy in the red, what would you say he is? What was that? Idealist. Idealist. Why do you say he's an idealist? What's that?
He goes away to reflect.
Reflect themselves. Yeah, they always.
He's communing with nature.
They're constantly searching. Where's my relation to the world, with people, with humanity, with nature,
I don't like
with
that
God.
tone. I don't like that tone. Did you pick that up? There was a bias there in that tone.
I appreciate NFs. Most of my friends are NFs.
Yeah.
Most of my friends are NFs. But I do mock them. Michelangelo, the guy in the orange. Artisan. Man, people love Michelangelo because he's so fun. He's not a heavy character. He's all about fun. And Leonardo, the guy in the blue. Guardian. Yeah, he leads. Why? Because he follows the rules. He follows Master Splinter, the rat. Big Bang Theory. Oh, okay. This is not one where all 4 types are. Yeah,
Right.
but we'll start with the main character. Who's the main character? Sheldon. What is Sheldon? Yeah, Sheldon's an anti-owl. He cannot be anything else. He cannot. He's so socially awkward, he cannot be anything else. But, by the way, if you guys know someone who's socially awkward, almost always an owl, unfortunately. I try to blend in, camouflage myself. So what would you say that Leonard and Howard Wolowitz is? I see, this is tough, but I would say, you know what? I think Leonard and Howard are both NTs. So I think there's 3 NTs there.
Just Sheldon's the most extreme.
Yeah, Sheldon is, well, yeah, he's like ADD or something. But Raj, what do you guys know about Raj? How is he different than the other guys? Do you guys watch the show?
Yeah. Is he more of a fox?
How is he different? He can't talk to girls. Heart. He's heart, right? He's warm.
Yeah.
He's always he feels like he's not comfortable with himself. He can't talk to girls. Always feeling like he wants to connect with people, but he has a hard time. And so I think he's a dolphin. Yeah.
What about Howard's wife?
Oh,
Howard's wife. Bernadette.
Bernadette.
Don't ever play on her team in a game. Yeah, super competitive, very driven.
I actually don't know what Bernadette is, and but if you guys want to give me insight on that, you guys can. Amy Farrah Fowler, she's actually my favorite character. She's my favorite. She makes me LOL. She
Laugh
makes
out
me
loud,
LOL
yeah.
big time.
So what is she?
You guys know what she is? I think she's irrational as well. I mean, if you saw them meet for the first time, how awkward their language was, how precise and awkward, and yet even though it's precise, it's still awkward. Their language was. I'm like, oh wow, here's a rational meeting another rational.
What about Penny?
Penny? What do you guys think Penny is?
Fox.
I think she has to be a fox.
Yeah. Okay. So we don't have to get all of them, but this is just.
Oh, we got to go forward on this. I don't know anything about the Beatles.
Well, I just thought this is the 50th anniversary of the Beatles.
I don't know. You want to
I'm kind of testing our ability to apply this. So that doesn't mean it has to be. See, I'm Dolphin. It doesn't have to be absolutely right. It's more. All right. So what about Paul? Right. What about Paul? Well, to me, George is the one that was with the Maharishi, right? He was like all going off into this meditation thing. So that makes him more the dolphin, right? The idealist. Ringo. No talent. Yeah. Just the luckiest person on earth. Yeah. How he's portrayed is just, it's like not that important, but any guess of what he would be? Guardian? He's just following the rules. Like you put the music, I play the beats. John and Paul like the creative geniuses of this whole thing. So what would John be? Very creative. So it's either artisan or a.
So in terms of artists, almost all artists are artisans because they're so good with their senses. However, you'll see a lot of dolphins too. Dolphins artists, and you can know what a dolphin like. To me, I joke around. What is a dolphin music? Like to me, dolphin music is like Enya or Jack Johnson. I don't know if it's true, but that's the way I perceive them. Or like John Mayer, it's just like the same song extended over 1 hour. That's what it sounds like. It's all about the mood. Let's feel good about each other, It's like if you tell someone, sing this song from John Mayer, they'll be like, I actually not sure because all the songs sound so similar. Huh. Unless they're a major John Mayer fan.
Okay, we can go on.
I don't know Narnia either.
You're the one that told me to put the Narnia people on there.
Oh no, but if okay, let's
Yeah,
just
you want to
move-
hazard a guess? You don't have to get all of them. Oh,
I think she's a dolphin too, because dolphins are all about, oh, where am I? Let's find out who I am, and going through the, going through the wardrobe. Yeah.
Peter.
I don't know a lot of the characteristics of the people. It would be good for me to name a person and say, these are the characteristics, and then say, what
Sure. Okay, so this one might be tougher because not everyone's seen this movie. So let's go to the next one. I think we can do that. Okay, so Seinfeld characters, main cast.
Okay. Let's. Not all of them have types, but that I know of. But let's focus on one of them, George. Do you guys know what George is?
George is this guy with the glasses. All right, he's got schemes. He works for Mr. Steinbrenner.
Do you guys know?
Everything bad happens to him.
Oh no, this is how I know he's not a fox. Anytime you put him in a situation, does he do good or bad? He screws up every single time. That is not a fox. Foxes don't do that. You know what? I don't think he thinks like an owl, talks like an owl. He's a guardian. He's a guardian. He has like a shallow rule, these shallow rules that he tries to follow, and it blows up in his face, and he ends up looking ridiculous. But I guess he represents all that may be bad in what a beaver is, and that's why it's funny.
So that's an interesting example because you think, well, a beaver is typically the one that's going to keep their nose the cleanest, right, and all that kind of stuff. But it kind of depends on application.
Mm-hmm. And that's why his character is so unique. You don't see that very much.
Okay, you don't know
Yeah.
these people? Okay.
Oh, Fantastic Four. Okay, this is great. I love this. Okay, so here's the scientist, and what does he do? He's Mr. Incredible. What does Mr. Incredible do?
Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
What does he do?
No, well, other than being elastic, he's the brains. He invents all the gadgets, and he's the leader of the team.
Okay.
Thing.
What does the thing do?
He's a rock. But he's kind of grouchy, right? But he's reliable. He always comes through, no matter how hard the situation.
I don't know who's the next one.
Storm?
Sue Storm.
Yeah. What's her characteristics?
She could bend light, right?
Yeah, she's invisible and make things, right? She can alter dimensions and that kind of stuff.
And the last one is a Human Torch. He turns into fire. He likes
To me, he's the fox, right? He's totally living for all the thrills and.
From the limited amount I've seen this movie, he's definitely a fox. I mean, he's all about. I mean, he turns into a flame. I mean, that's the element of a fox: flame, fire. They burn bright, fast, quick. He's good looking. He's kind of cocky. So that he's definitely a fox. Mr.
Reed Richards. Yeah.
Reed Richards is fantastic. He is definitely the owl of the group. He's the scientist. He thinks things through. And the Thing, he is a beaver guardian. Why? When you think of stone, you think of something that's grounded, right? You think of something that's reliable. It doesn't break, right? And their element, beaver's elements are earth, whereas the owl is wind. And Sue Storm, what do you think she is? What's last? Why is she a dolphin? I'm not sure why is she a dolphin, to be honest with you, but I know she is because I've talked to several friends about like what's her personality type in this, but I haven't seen enough of the movie.
One of the things that emerged as we were looking at these various examples is that the way people write stories throughout history, they always have more than one totem type. And so even though being with totem types that are really different than yours, and sometimes it's aggravating and frustrating, it's like it's the body of Christ model again. It's like you still need more than you, more than your type. You cover your blind spots.
Oh, one thing I want to say about the dolphins element. Do you know what element a dolphin would have? Water, obviously. Why do idealist NFs have water as their element? What? Yeah, I think of everything flowing together, everything gets mixed together. Oh, we're all one body of water, all one body of
I hear
Christ.
that tone again.
It cracks me up when they talk like that, though. But I do appreciate dolphins. I really do. Most of my friends are dolphins. Because wind is like above everyone, and it's like it's not really connected with anything. Just flying above the atmosphere, peering down. I mean, they're owls. They're up in the sky looking down, but they're not actually grounded with anything. So
Yeah.
the A team. A team. Okay, so what do we know about the A team? This is Hannibal. What does he do? Brains. Owl. Face. What does he do?
Disguise, charmer.
Face. Oh yeah, he's the one who actually implements the plan. So he's got to be the. Huh? No.
He's a fox.
He's a fox. Beavers love to follow the rules, but they cannot necessarily be technical enough to be aware enough to be able to implement it as well as it could be. And even though he's trying to follow the rules, or he's supposed to follow the rules, he just knows, okay, I just need to get this done, and he might break the rules along the way. Just like a quarterback, they know what the pre-snap, what they're supposed to do, but post-snap, anything could happen. And the fox is usually the most attractive too. And so they always, in a group, they'll always make the fox super attractive.
Murdoch.
I don't know Murdoch. Murdoch is tough because Murdoch is so weird. Like he doesn't reveal much of who he is inside because he's weird. But let's put him on hold for a while. So what do you guys think of B.A. Baracus? Mr. T.
I pity the fool.
He's a beaver, right?
Good.
He gets things done. Like he's the guy who drives. Let's get things done. He doesn't like. What does he not like to do? What does he? Fly. He doesn't like to fly. Why do you think they made him so that he does not like to fly? Yeah, he likes to be grounded. He's not in control. He wants control over every situation. So that's if you were to put him in the 4 groups, I'd say, okay, he's a dolphin. But he's a dolphin that doesn't reveal much of himself. He's just kind of quirky in a strange sort of way.
That's too many.
I don't know Modern Family. I haven't watched one episode. Yeah. Ghostbusters. Okay, let's focus on Egon. You guys know Egon? Egon with the glasses? What is Egon? He's a scientist. He's like the brains behind this whole Ghostbusting team, and everyone else just follows. I'm not sure if, I think they might be, the other 3 might be foxes, and he's the rational. And I think this is funny because if you think about it, you see how they are utilitarian. I mean, how many laws do they break while they're trying to capture ghosts? Right?
Dogs and cats sleeping together.
And it's such an artisan story because they're like, they'll destroy the whole building, and half the time they're like, yeah, we got the ghost! We got the ghost! Yeah! And they'll be so excited. And a beaver will be like, you destroyed half the city. What are you doing? You gotta follow the rules here. Let's see.
Okay, this is the last one.
Oh, Scooby-Doo. This is a good one. This is a very good one. What's that?
Yeah. No, we're not gonna try to type Scooby.
Oh, I was like going start off with Scooby.
Oh, okay, all right.
I thought Scooby was the easy.
So what is Scooby?
You guys know Scooby? Artisan. What does he like? What does Scooby snacks? He'll do anything for Scooby snacks. So yeah, you know for sure. Oh, this is an artisan. You can get him to do anything he wants with the Scooby snack. His best friend is Shaggy, and he too is a artisan fox. He likes to have a lot of fun. I'm not sure if he's ISFP or ESFP, but I know Scooby is at ESFP. Who's the leader? Who's like Donatello in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Fred. Fred is leader. So what is Fred?
Beaver.
Fred is Fred is the leader, and he's like the beaver of the group. He's always driving. He's always in charge. Follow this rule. He doesn't come up with anything like genius of the plan. Who's the one who comes up with the?
Velma.
Yeah, Velma. Wait, is this Velma?
Velma.
Oh yeah, Velma. Velma. She is probably a
Rational owl.
owl. She looks like an owl. Look at her. She has glasses on. I mean, who's dressed nicer, Velma or Daphne? I mean, aside from the looks, like who has chosen a better outfit? I mean, look at her knee-high socks. That's a rational will wear that, not a fox. But
And then Daphne.
Daphne, what do you think Daphne is? What's that? She's probably a fox. She's probably an ISFP. She's the most fashionable. ISFPs are fashionable, and they like the behind-the-scenes type of fashion, like music and painting and all that. And she fits the mold. And by the way, foxes go well with beavers, and she's paired up with them.
All right. So this was all introductory. All these little exercises to get your brain in these 4 categories. Okay. We're going to take our last break. When we come back, we're going to split you up according to totems. Okay. So you're going to be looking for 2 other people who are the same totem as you. Now, how many foxes did we have? Do we have 2? Oh, 3. Okay. So you guys already have a group. And we're going to our plan is to keep you in your same totem group until the final month session. Okay, so then we're going to mix you up so you get an idea of how the other world is thinking. But right now we want to actually amp up your self-understanding of your particular totem personality. Okay, so get back here at 20 after. Thank you very much. We'll see you then.